So my friend Josie has been with her boyfriend for 15 plus years. I've known Josie for almost 6 years and we've been really close despite there being a significant age gap in our relationship. Josie and her boyfriend are tying the knot, but it's more of a formality. They already live together, have kids, own a house, etc. So instead of a big extravagant wedding, they're renting a mansion to host like 15-ish people including myself. They're getting married on the property and we're going to party there. There's a pool and it's on the water, so there will be plenty of fun stuff to do. Instead of wedding gifts, they just want everyone to contribute to lodging. The price isn't outrageous once you factor in how much a destination wedding costs, but still, it's pricey. So Josie has a friend Melody that she's gotten really close with in the past 3 years. They're about the same age and both have daughters. Their relationship is at times a frenemy relationship. She also has a girlfriend from work who she's close with named Valerie. They've worked together for 2 years or so. Valerie and Josie have been planning the wedding weekend. Well, when I had lunch with Josie, Josie showed me the invite list and my name wasn't on it. When I asked her about it, she said it was an oversight and of course, I'd be there. I asked why 3 of the girls had stars by their names and she said that those were the bridesmaid. It was Valerie, Melody, and her sister along with the groom's 2 brothers and Melody's husband. I asked if I was going to be her bridesmaids and she said I wasn't because Melody is more sensitive than me and she'd feel some kind of way about it. I asked why Valerie was one and she said Valerie is helping her plan it, so it seemed right. I decided to let this go until she showed me the plan of the house and I realized there wasn't enough rooms. I asked her who was doubling up and she said no one. I'd be sleeping on the couch or bunking with the children because I didn't have a +1 and all the couples were together. I told her not to worry about me, that I'd just get a hotel on my own so I didn't have to bunk with 10-year-old girls and a toddler. She said she couldn't get married without me and I'd have to be there with them and I said clearly you can get married without me. Valerie and Melody think I'm being too sensitive and that I'm ruining the wedding. But why would I pay to sleep on a couch? Am I being an idiot? Not the idiot. Honestly, if it were me I'd probably just not go. I'm getting the sense that you'll be designated babysitter or kid wrangler as soon as you get there so that everyone else can have a relaxing break. I mean, they're putting you in the kids' room. I'd lay bets that some of the panic around you not being there is that they'll have no one to palm the kids off onto. I'm sorry, it's got to be hard, but I don't think your friend is the person you think she is. I'm a single friend, and I've been put in this situation before and it screws. You're the afterthought, or you're expected to swallow it up when it comes to stuff like this. The number of times people have expected me to pay the same price and sleep on the floor, or the same price as a couple, or to subsidize other people's kids, it's crazy. Stay in a hotel, and go and visit for the wedding etc. Or ask to pay significantly less as you won't have a room. Her calculations are penalizing you and that's absolutely unfair. Why is she even having bridesmaids? It's a small wedding and seems unnecessary. I think your reasoning is a little off. You'd be okay with the circumstances if you were a bridesmaid, but aren't happy because you aren't. You were missed off the invite list, there isn't room for you, and you're expected to bunk up and still contribute. Those things aren't right and I think there's something else going on with Josie. Not the idiot for not wanting to attend, but I think the bridesmaid point is moot. I have full custody of our daughter, 8, at the moment and we cannot do visitation due to her father living in the city. I usually send photos and videos of her a few times a week. Her father has been very cranky and critical these last few weeks though. I get that he's stressed, but so am I and some of it is very aggressive. For example, my daughter wanted to do that challenge, where you do a handstand and put a shirt on. I filmed her attempts and sent them to her father. She was laughing the whole time and because she was doing a sort of angled handstand against the wall, she would fall on her knees and nod her head or neck. I thought it was a cute video and sent it to her dad. I immediately got bombarded with texts and voice messages yelling at me for letting her do something so dangerous and calling me a reckless mother and an attention grabber. I didn't post the video anywhere public, just sent it to her dad and grandma. Another time I sent him a photo of our daughter eating frozen peas and corn out of the bag. She hates both of them hot but likes to snack on them when they're frozen. I thought the picture was cute and sent it to him and he sent back a snarky message accusing me of neglecting her and not cooking her nutritious and filling meals. It's all been very draining on top of everything, so I just told him that I will not be sending any more photos and videos. He's welcome to call whenever, but I'm done sending him snapshots of our daughter's day because he's so damn critical. He's very angry and feels that I should continue sending the photos because he misses her and is missing visitation. Some of my friends are on my side, but if you think I should keep sending the photos and just ignore the criticism, am I the idiot for not sending the photos? Not the idiot. If he's willing to go on a tirade for a cute video like that, then I wouldn't trust him with your daughter. He could have said, "How cute, just tell her to be careful." This guy is just rude and looking to bring you down every chance he gets. Don't send him any more pictures till he behaves like a father, a good one, not one that has anger issues. He's being an idiot. Go enjoy time with your daughter, make some happy memories now that everyone has to stay home. Not the idiot. This guy sounds like a typical bitter ex looking for any way to grind the axe. I would greatly minimize the photos you do send him to curated ones where she's looking out a window or reading a book in the living room. Basically photos he'd be over the top and out of line commenting on. Let him video call, but keep the camera in the same room against the same backdrop. Keep those nasty comments for legal advising in case he decides he needs to drag you through the muck in the future. Not the idiot. Your pictures of your child should just be yours. This is his hang-up, not yours. As long as you are not harming your child, he doesn't deserve to see the fun things you do together. It is obvious that he will do whatever he can to make you out to be the bad parent, so don't give him the chance to do so. Enjoy taking photos of your kid having fun, but keep them to yourself because that is the whole entire point. He hasn't earned the right to enjoy the fun you and your child have. My husband and I get along like a house on fire. We love each other and talk constantly about what's best for our family. He's recently went back to work, he's a chef, and I'm still on furlough. I co-manage a bar. I cook from scratch every day. I've recently let the little one, 3 in March, scoop the chopped up food into the cold pot. Chopped up carrots. She giggles and scoops them into the pot. Mushrooms. Giggles and scoops them into the pot. Onions, giggles, and scoops them in. I wash her hands after. Husband was home 4 nights ago watching us, making sarky little comments, "She's too young, and you're cooking them wrong," etc. He tried to get her to play with her blocks, which are her favorite toy at the moment, and she said to him, "No daddy, we do dinner, don't be nasty." He hasn't spoken to me properly since then. His dad has emailed me saying I should take the lead from my husband, since he knows best. His brothers have texted saying I should just pick my battles. I told him if he couldn't have an adult conversation with me he should go and stay with his daddy. He left a couple of hours later, told me he would stay with his dad. He told our daughter he had to go to work. She was happy. I think I'm totally in the right. My little one wants to help. She is very proud of herself when dinner is ready because she helped cook it. I do kind of feel bad because I know how chefs can be. But come on, it's his daughter, he should be encouraging her. Not the idiot. What the hell is with all the people on this sub whose partners go running to their family to bully their partner into doing what they want instead of having an adult conversation? That is not okay. Not with any marital issue. Well, my daddy thinks I'm right. Is not a convincing argument. There is so much of that on here. If a friend or family member told me about a fight, the last thing I would ever consider doing is texting or calling the partner to tell them they were wrong. It is just so beyond the pale. Your husband needs to grow up. Not the idiot. Your approach is fantastic parenting, by the way, and I may be wrong, but I think Montessori would approve. And since you're the one who's home all day, you certainly know your own child's limitations. He's the one who needs to pick his battles. Don't let his family bully you. Do they have a history of misogyny? Also, you didn't send him away. You told him what's up, and he made a choice. His choice meant he walked out the door on you and your daughter. That is not okay. And that's not on you. I'm sorry you're having to deal with this. You and your daughter deserve better. Not the idiot. Even Gordon Ramsay treats his daughters better than your husband treats his. He shouldn't be getting in between a daughter and a mother bonding through cooking. Also, what is this talk about your daughter being too young? There are 2-year-olds that learn to cook using an easy bake oven, but your daughter is too young to be scooping up food and putting them into a pot with a smile on her face. OP, you did nothing wrong. Your husband obviously didn't have the balls to talk to you like an adult and not use his family to speak for him. If this is the hill he wants to die on, then so be it. So I, 17, am Asian, Taiwanese, and my neighbor, 17 or 18, is white. We go to the same community college, we wave to each other, but we don't talk really. Yesterday, I finished jogging, and I was sitting on a bench. She sat next to me, and I'm pretty sure I smelled something strange on her, so safe to say she was funny. I didn't feel like talking, because I was tired, so I gave her a nod. I was also kind of dazed and tuned out because I really pushed my limits with that jog. I get bad chest pains from running. She randomly started talking about her cat trying to eat her guinea pig. I didn't say anything or look at her because it was just really random. I didn't know what to say. Then, she started talking about me. She started with "pretty sure you don't speak English so I can say all this," and went on about how she wants to make love with me, how she stares at me all the time, how she stares at my bulge, and how she loves witchcraft. Again, I didn't say anything. I was looking at her this time. Kind of entertained. She stopped talking and went to Google Translate. She typed "give me your number" and showed me the translation. I put my number in her phone. I started to say something. I was gonna let her know I speak English, but she slid her AirPods in and started walking. She texted me when she was sober in a poorly translated Mandarin text. I responded, telling her that I could speak English. She left me on red for a bit. Then she asked me if I understood everything she said when we were sitting on the bench. I said yeah. She said, "So you let me embarrass myself?" And I said, "Maybe just don't assume what languages people can or can't speak." She left me on red again and didn't respond. Finally, she told me that I couldn't say anything about her assuming because I wasn't responding to her when she was talking in the first place. I told her that I wasn't upset, I was just saying. She told me to text her when I realize I'm being an idiot. I posted about this to another sub, and a few people did say that my response was jerky or to get off my high horse. So I thought I'd come here. Am I the idiot for what I said? Not the idiot. This is funny. Her assumption caused her to embarrass herself. Especially talking about making love with you and your bulge. That's great. Now, it was a tad idiotic when she said that she could say things to you because you can't speak English and you didn't correct her there. That's idiot behavior. She is right there, you did let her embarrass herself. She also should never assume someone speaks a language or doesn't speak a language based on looks. That's idiotic. You go to the same college and have been nodding acquaintances for months. I assume you both lived in an English-speaking country. How the hell did she think you learned anything at the college if you don't understand English? Yes, she was drunk, which I assume lowered the inhibitions, but she knew who you were and was able to use Google Translate well enough to ask for your number. Yes, she is embarrassed, and that is making her irrationally ask for an apology when it would be more sensible for her to say sorry and ask if you still want a date. You are not the idiot for me. I mean, I don't know how anyone of any race would logically respond to any of what she said at all, with anything short of a look of confusion and maybe a slight concern. I smoke, but good lord, I've never just spouted the most random creepy crap to someone I assumed couldn't speak English. Like what the hell? Someone you think can't understand you aren't a personal diary you can unload on because they potentially don't understand a word you're saying. Why did you give this weirdo your number? Mostly out of curious shock, I'm thinking, but geez. Not the idiot at all, by the way. Just wow. This year we did a small Christmas for obvious reasons. We spent the first half of the day with mother-in-law and my husband's family and the second half with my family. I was raised vegan, which means any kind of meat and dairy will instantly cause the worst stomach problems imaginable. I also have celiacs, which means I can't eat wheat or gluten. My mother-in-law is very precious about her food and wants to be the person who feeds the whole family. The problem is, I've eaten veggies at her house before and ended up throwing up for hours. It turned out she cooked them in goose fat. This has happened several times. This Christmas I didn't eat anything at her house. I don't think she realizes how severe my food allergies are, and my parents were cooking a full spread anyway. I figured I could eat at my parents' and my husband could eat at his. I brought a few snacks so I wouldn't just be sat there at dinner. My husband's family know what a pain in the back food is for me, and they were cracking crappy, but funny, vegan jokes until one said, "You're just trying to get out of eating mother-in-law's food." She was very quiet after this, and as we were driving down to my parents' house, I got a message that said, "Hi OP, I wanted to tell you how upset and embarrassed I was that you didn't think my food was good enough for Christmas Day." I spent 12 hours making it, you don't have to come next year if you don't want to. This was a huge, what the hell moment for me, because I explained the situation to her before and said she didn't have to worry about checking her ingredients, not that I think she would have done that anyway. I told her this, and she flipped out and said that I could stop being picky for one day. She understood the allergy, but thought being unwilling to eat things cooked in the same tray as meat was unreasonable. She's still not talking to me. I guess eating veggies cooked with the meat might not have caused me any problems, but it made me uncomfortable, and I feel like that should have been enough. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, it sounds like you have an otherwise good relationship. I think brother-in-law's comment hurt her feelings, and she's taking it out on you because it's easier than confronting him. At dinner you could have said something like everything looks and smells wonderful, and I wish I could eat it, but my body is just not good at digesting so many foods. Brother-in-law was really rude. Since that time is past now, perhaps you could call her and soothe her feelings by complimenting her cooking and tell her you don't want her to get the wrong idea that you think her cooking isn't good enough. Not the idiot. Your husband needs to stand up for you. This is his mother, who has made you sick on multiple occasions. Quite honestly, as a unit, you both should have stopped going to mother-in-law's for any meals until it was clear she understood that poisoning you is not showing love. If she wants to feed the whole family, she needs to actually feed the whole family food that will not make them sick. Tell your husband his mother owes you an apology. You shouldn't have to compromise and eat food that will make you vomit for hours to spare the precious feelings of a selfish and intentionally ignorant woman. Not the idiot. I bet you wish it was simply being picky rather than serious and uncomfortable food intolerances and allergies. Your mother-in-law is awful. Lovely people do not do this repeatedly to people they claim to like. No, you shouldn't have to eat veg cooked in animal fat. You're a vegan. It doesn't take 12 hours to steam veg. Mother-in-law could have prepared some very simple, meat-free food for you and keeps choosing not to. She is the worst kind of host to not cater for her invited guests according to their needs.